law enforcement, FBI, just about any government institution. Also, we do some student rings, even down to high school, middle school, kindergarten. But we do a blog here, and we like to put out useful military information. I'm an old soldier myself. And so those of us that are old soldiers, we like to kind of stay connected, and we like to talk about military stuff because that's really, I'm not going to say that's all we know, but that's really what we know. So I like to talk today about one of the things that the military does that's not quite right. And I've seen it time and time again, and I've probably done it myself. And I think every military commander it may have done it. There may be a few who haven't, but I think everybody has thought this way at one time or the other. And what I'm talking about is the propensity for commanders in the military and for unit leaders to want to take every single individual whenever the unit deploys. And it's natural because you need your people in the field. You need all of your people, really. I mean, every person has a job to do, and you don't want somebody having to do somebody else's job because that performance will fall off. But I think there are times when it's probably best to not take people when you deploy or even on extended training exercises. I think that if we have the mindset that everybody needs to go every time, then I think there's something kind of wrong with that mindset. And I think the limit is in our leaders because we have to be able to perform, or our unit has to be able to perform if one or two, if 10, if up to 20% of it is not there, that unit still has to be able to perform. So now members need to be cross-trained, and there needs to be established procedures and policies in place so that if you lose one member, then another member can pick up and take up where that person left off. And you do that by the use of what they call SOPs in the military, which is SOP means standard operating procedures. And what they are, they're easy, very easy, simple to read, easy to read directives for every job. And so now if I'm coming into that job brand new and never done it before, I should be able to pick up that unit SOP. And for most situations, it should tell me exactly what to do, exactly who to talk to in order to get the situation resolved. And it should tell me that so that I can do it at an acceptable standard. So now, if we don't have this, and if all of our troops are not trained this way, then that, to me, represents a lack of leadership on the part of military leaders. And the reason I'm saying this is I can think of some incidents, and I'll talk about them, where it would have been best to not take certain soldiers on field exercises. Now, a military, you should be able to operate shorthanded in the field. That's the whole gist of serving, especially if you're in a combat unit, because you're going to lose people. That's the way it is. And when people are lost, that unit still has to perform. And so now you should, as a leader, train your unit to perform without key personnel being in place. And that just basically means that all of your troops should know exactly what to do. Simple as that. They should all know what to do. There should have to not be, anyone should not have to be there giving them orders for every single thing. This is what makes the United States military great. We also need to train our troops to take initiative and to think and perform actions in the absence of directives or supervision. One way you do this is you've got to educate them on the total mission of what it is that unit is to accomplish, and so that if something happens to you, then they can carry on and they know full well why they're doing what they're doing. And when it comes to taking the next step, that they can take the next step because they know what needs to be done. Also, if you taking a troop to the field who's a disciplinary problem or with a bad attitude can have a negative effect on that unit's morale over a period of time. You imagine you can have one soldier sometimes that can just keep the rest, just keep stuff going and keep everybody else stirred up and angry. And in that situation, it may be best just to leave that person back. You know, give them a job, man. Hey, your job is to watch the grass grow and measure it every day. You know, till we get back. Something just to keep them out of the way. So in many situations, it might be wise to do so. And I'm going to give you a couple of situations where I fault the commanders for not doing that. And because they didn't do that, it led to catastrophes. The first one that I'm going to talk about is in the case of Hassan Akbar. And this was the Fort Hood soldier who was taken to Iraq when during Operation Iraqi Freedom. He was a Muslim, a U.S. soldier, but he was also a Muslim. And they took him, the unit deployed to go fight in Iraq, and they took this soldier also. Well, the problem, first of all, is not really that he was a confessed Muslim, but this soldier had problems before he left to go to Iraq. He was having problems with his chain of command. He was a little bit confused, you know, about his religion, and it caused him some problems within his unit. So now, in that case, had I been that unit commander, I probably would have just left that soldier at home. Because you really don't need that, you know, especially in a combat situation is stressful anyway. You need your people working together. You need them clicking. I probably would have just left him at home and assigned him to somebody so that he would not get in the way and he would not have a negative effect on morale. But normally commanders don't think that way. And in this case, it turned out to be a problem because for those of you that don't know, this soldier went to a tent, I believe, and threw a live hand grenade. He armed a hand grenade by pulling the pin, and he threw that hand grenade into a tent, and it resulted in the deaths of several people. I can't remember how many were killed and injured, but several people were killed and injured in this attack. And this was done to his unit's leadership. And this happened immediately after his unit made it to Iraq. Any commander, I think, with decent foresight would have just let this soldier remain at home, you know, assigned him to another unit and just left him alone. Because, you know, it didn't just start, this didn't just happen in one day. It was an ongoing problem. He had ongoing disciplinary problems. Another case in point is in the case of PFC Peyton Manning. No, not Peyton, not the quarterback. I'm sorry. But his name was PFC Manning. I can't remember the first name. Not Peyton. I'm sorry, Peyton. My bad, man. But you see, that just lets you know, Peyton, you on my mind, bro. You the man. You the man. You the smartest quarterback in NFL history, as far as I'm concerned. But nevertheless, Bradley Manning. It was Bradley Manning, PFC Bradley Manning. This was the private who was a military intelligence specialist, and as such, he was able to get his hands on a lot of classified documents. Well, what this soldier did is he leaked a lot of classified information. I mean, hundreds of thousands of pages of classified information to an organization called WikiLeaks. And this stuff was made public by WikiLeaks. And so, you know, it was an embarrassment to the United States government. But the thing about with PFC Manning, he was a disciplinary problem before he was taken to Afghanistan. He was a very confused young troop, and from what I understand, he would have temper tantrums, would throw and break stuff, was very disrespectful to his chain of command. So, you know, in those two cases, I would not have taken those two soldiers. Had I been a commander, I don't think I would have taken them. I think I would have just left them here. Okay, so what? They didn't go to war. Okay, and everybody else had to. So what? But by leaving them here, you would ensure unit morale over there. And if they had been left here, the damage that they did over there would not have happened. Nevertheless, I've come just about far enough today. I've talked to you about enough today. But stay tuned, and we'll continue to keep you updated on different political and military events, trends, military tactics, strategy. And hey, man, I'm a strategist, man. I'm a tactician. So you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot. I knew a lot, and I love to talk. You're going to learn a lot from me. But anyway, nevertheless, my militaryringexpress.com. That's MILITARYRING Express, EXPRESS.com. And there you go. Those are the stone colors that we offer, 14 different stone colors. Those are 3 of the different styles that you see up top. You see the Independence, the Atlas, the Independence and the Freedom and the latest Freedom. And here are just a few of the styles that we offer for our U.S. Army rings. But we do rings for all branches of service. And hey, you can call me, man. Call me on my cell phone. I try to maintain a personal image, and I want you to be able to talk to me anytime that you feel like you need to. My phone number is 912-977-5059. 912-977-5059. Military Ring Express. Peace out.